Life may begin at 18, but it doesn't get really interesting until about 150. That's Valentino Rossi, 9-time world champion in the MotoGP series. Valentino rides a Yamaha R1, which is a 1000cc liter bike. Today, we're going to be looking at a Yamaha F07. One of the important aspects for Valentino whenever he's on the track is making sure that his oil has been changed and is fresh. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to go through the process of changing the engine oil. We're going to go through the various tools that you need, how to select the engine oil and filter, the correct process for prepping the bike to have the oil change, and the correct process for completing the oil change. I have already went through and I have purchased both the engine oil and the filter. You find the proper engine oil and filter at your local dealership. You find which kind you need in the owner's manual for the motorcycle. Today we're going to be using SAE 10W30, 10W40, excuse me, for this particular bike, and a standard Yamaha oil filter. It's important to make sure that you select the correct oil filter and engine oil. If you select the incorrect engine oil weight, then you can actually ruin your engine. Some weights of engine oil are designed to run hotter, some are designed to run colder, and depending on which one your bike calls out, you can actually run a cold engine oil in a hot running bike and ruin the engine. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. To save time, I've pre-drained the engine oil in the bike. You're going to need a few different types of tools in order to do that. One, you are going to need, for this particular motorcycle, a 17mm wrench. You're also going to need a set of channel locks in order to remove the oil filter. Very simple, you just go through and you take the drain plug out, allow the engine oil to drain. You can open up the oil intake, or oil cap rather, and allow air to pass through the engine in order to allow the oil to drain faster. And then of course, following the draining of the oil, you remove the oil filter and drain whatever oil is left in the actual filter itself. Following that process, what you're going to do is you're going to go back and you're going to replace the drain plug. Make sure you install the crush ring washer properly in order to make a seal at the bottom of the engine. We're going to do that right now. So this is the drain plug. You got a crush ring washer. We're going to just install it on there, and we're going to put that in the engine, bottom of the engine. We're going to use a 17mm wrench. We're going to tighten it up. And you want to make sure that you don't over tighten it. Otherwise you can strip out the thread because this is an aluminum block. It's going to be fairly easy at first, but as you start to compress that crush washer, it's going to get a little bit more difficult until it's firm. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on it, just enough in order to get a good seal. Then you take your oil filter, open it up. This one right here comes pre-lubricated, some of them do not, so you'll want to take some of your old oil, run it around the seal in order to seal the bike correctly. You're going to install that back onto the bike, and you just want to get this hand tight. Okay. Following that, what you're going to do is you are going to fill the bike with the correct amount of oil. You're going to use a filter. Go ahead and go ahead and fill the bike with the proper amount of oil. This particular bike uses 2.6 quarts. So we'll do that. Following the completion of the oil change, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and turn the bike on. And you're going to start it. I haven't added the oil yet, so I'm not going to start it. I'm going to start it, allow it to get up to operating temperature. And with that, you have completed the oil change. And remember, if everything's in control, you're probably not moving fast enough. That's Mario Andretti.